What's up, guys? It's Missy. I am back with another SimCity Buildit video. Today we're going to be talking about the new feature in the contest of mayors called streaks. Okay? A lot of you guys saw this 2 weeks ago. You got the FAQ for it, and you guys have been anticipating what it's going to be doing and how it's going to be changing the contest. So basically, this is going to be a pretty quick video. If you're a low-level player between level 11 and 30 that's camping, okay, meaning you're not doing upgrades, you do not do the streaks unless it's a choice that you would be doing anyways, okay? There is no reason to risk the amount of risk that goes into not being able to complete the streak is not beneficial enough for you. So after calculating up several people's streaks, after they did all the assignments and got their bonus points, they basically ended up in a situation where they had pretty much a 2K average. Some of them ended up with a higher than a 2K average, but if you pay attention to the way that you add points, you would realize that sometimes you end up with a higher average anyways, depending on which tasks you choose. Now, a lot of times these are of a lower value. You know, for instance, one guy had a 600 donuts, another 600 task, or no, she had a 1,000 Green Valley upgrade, 1,000 London upgrade, and then a 600 donuts. So she had 2,600 total points, and she ended up getting, I believe it was, here, let's just look. I'll show you. $4,000 points. So it ended up coming out to a 2,200 average after everything was said and done, as you can see here. Okay. Now, there's a lot of information going out there right now that is not true. You have to be very, very careful about what you listen to. I'm already going to rip a few people a new one in my group for giving false information. So one guy had said that when he started his assignments, that every time he did an assignment, the streak assignment would change. That is false. Okay, that does not happen. Another person said that when they canceled the assignment, that the streak went away for 5 days. I canceled my streak assignment and it said 5 minutes. Okay, so it appears as though you get a total number of streaks allowed, right? And so see how it says streak 2? And then it says 0 out of 3. That means that basically that if you complete all of the assignments within the streak, that you get those bonus points. Now, as a low-level player, you run a very high level of risk by completing or by not being able to complete these assignments. Okay, so if you're in a situation where you are saying, well, I do or don't want to do them, you need to make that choice right now. If you're going to ruin your game and can level up, or if you're not. You can't just, oh, well, maybe this time I will, maybe next time I won't. Then you'll just start screwing stuff up regardless. So if it was me, I would not be doing them unless I would be doing that assignment anyways, right? Now, what you should do is you should continue playing the way you always would. And if that assignment happens to be the right assignment that you would normally do, then do it. But like, for instance, this screenshot, she has her key assignment up at the top in the streaks. That's excellent. Leave it. Don't touch it. Use it to your advantage. Okay? This will hold that annoying key assignment that's always in your list, that's always taking up one of your good rotatable options, and it will allow you to rotate out your other rotatable options. It will give you better options. If it's the monster, if it's the keys, if it's the repair, leave it be, okay? Unless it's worth a higher value. Okay, give me just a second here, you guys. I have to run into the gas station and get something to drink, and then I'll be right back to help you guys. Okay, I am back. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've had to make this video twice now. I had a really good one the first 2 times. And I didn't realize that the recording had stopped the first one, and the second one Yeah, I'm not going to say what went on with that. All right, so let's see here. What do we got going on? So basically, what it comes down to is a lot of you guys are you're camping too low level. I've discussed this so many times in my videos. For those of you guys who are camping at the right level, which is supposed to be 24, you guys are doing phenomenal. You guys have maxed out your storage, dozer, everything in 90 days. There is a video about that. But basically what it comes down to with these streaks is it's a big tactic to get you guys to do the assignments that you wouldn't normally do and try to get you to level up, try to get you to spend money, and basically it's going to drop your score eventually, because what's going to happen is you guys are going to be in a situation where you start a streak that you can't finish. And basically when you do that, you're not going to get the bonus points, right? And so when that happens, then you're just screwed. And you just took a bunch of lower points for no reason. So for those of you guys who are serious comp players, you know, competitive players who are low level, and by low level, that means between levels 11 and 30, who do not have regionals unlocked. If you have regionals unlocked, you are considered in the high level player bracket, okay? And basically, yeah, you guys have a lot of different assignments that they don't have. So if you are a high level player, though, here's the thing. You guys can do upgrades. So it really comes down to whether or not taking that low assignment is worth the bonus points to you. So what you need to do is you need to calculate up the amount of streaks. And again, I'm repeating myself here because a lot of times people don't listen. This next part is for high level players only. See how it says 5,000 on the bonus? I'm taking 1,000 on the Sunny Valley, right? Or the Sunny Island. So right here, 1,000. That's already 1,000 less on my average. I could have done the Omega and got 2,000, but I'm doing 1,000, right? So let's deduct that from the bonus value. We've got 5,000 on the bonus value, okay? Now, we would have had another 1,000 points had we done the Omega, but we didn't. So we can deduct that from the bonus value, and that puts us at 4,000 bonus points. Now, right now, we would be benefiting 4,000 points, saying that every other assignment within this streak was at least 2K or higher, right? Because that's what our overall average is, or should be what we're aiming for. So one of the things that you guys need to learn is to use things to your benefit, and that is if you are a low level player, or you know, any player for that matter, let's say that this was a 1,200 keys instead of a upgrade for Sunny. You would be able to keep that up there at the top until the streak timer runs out. And what you would be able to do is, if you look at your list, you have things that are always in your list. Okay, keys are almost always in your list. If they are in your list all the time, then they lower the chances of getting good premiums or decent rotatable options. That being said, if you can keep the keys up at the top for 1,200, and notice how I said 1,200, 1,600, 2K, and 2,400, you would do the keys for the place value opportunity. But if it's there of 1,200 value, then you would say, okay, I can use this to my advantage, and I can allow one of my non-premium, no-touch tasks to sit up at the top to make room for one of my good rotatable options, right? So for those of you who are not familiar with what I'm talking about, I have videos where I discuss main tasks, rotatable tasks, and no-touch tasks. I'm going to be talking about all of this stuff in the all-in-one comp video. There's going to be a lot more detail in those videos. You guys are definitely going to want to check those videos out. They're going to be super, super important, okay? But for now, until those videos get posted, what you need to do is you need to avoid the streaks unless they are the right choice regardless. So what you should be doing is looking at your list the way you always would. And if the streak assignment is something that you would otherwise never touch, then don't touch it. Because you can benefit from the bonus if you would have done it anyways. But if you wouldn't have done it anyways, and you end up running into an upgrade, then you basically screw yourself because you took a bunch of lower points that you shouldn't have taken. Now, let's say that you would have done that assignment anyways, and then you get an upgrade. Now you would work this to your advantage, and you would say, okay, at least that upgrade is taking up the streak placement, right? It's not in my main list. That allows you to have better options in your list. So try to make it to where if you have something that you would otherwise never touch up there, leave it there. It'll bring better opportunities for the rest of your list, okay? So if you have a 1200 keys or a 1200 repair in the streaks, don't do it. Let it sit. It'll make better opportunities for other tasks to come in. The good thing is they did not, they didn't add the streaks and take away one of your guys' assignments. They just added it on top of your original list. So you're not really out any other choices, right? They just added it. So it really can work to your advantage if you do it properly. Do not take the risk or the gamble and try to complete the streak, because eventually what's going to happen is you're going to run into a situation where you either run into a lot of downtime or you run into an upgrade. Do not upgrade if you are somebody who's camping. That is the whole game EA is playing here. They need you to upgrade. The more you upgrade, the more you screw up your game. And the more you screw up your game, the more money you spend, right? And that's ultimately what they want. So, for those of you guys who are camping, absolutely stop camping the low levels, okay? I'm going to make this pretty quick, but this is the analogy that I've come up with for both solutions, right? For both problems. Other people are going to do these streaks because they're new and they're exciting and they just want to see what it does, right? Don't be one of those people. Be one of the people that learns from other people's mistakes and that can see things from a more intelligent perspective, right? So let's say that you're sitting up on this cliff and you are looking down and all you can see is darkness. You can't see anything else. And somebody walks up to you and says, hey, do you know what happens when you jump off here? And you say, no, but because I can't see the bottom, I don't recommend you jump down there, right? You know, because there's a risk. And they say, well, I'm going to take the risk. And they jump and they break all their limbs and they end up in a wheelchair, paralyzed. And they come back up there and they sit next to you on the cliff, and they're sitting there all paralyzed. And this next guy comes up and he says, what happens when you jump off the cliff? And you point to the guy behind you and say, well, that's what happened to him. And the dude just does it anyway. Because why not, right? Well, he didn't learn from his mistakes, so he wanted to make his own. And now he's sitting up there next to the same guy in the same situation, having the same problem. Now, what do you think that dude's going to do? He's going to sit next to you. Next thing you know, you're going to have all these people sitting up on the top of this cliff saying, don't do it, dude, don't do it. And there's always going to be some idiot that does it. Don't be the idiot that does it. Be the person that learns from other people's mistakes, okay? Now, there's some things that some mistakes you have to make on your own to learn. But there's other mistakes that, you don't really need to lose and screw up your whole week and screw up your game and level up to know that, it's not a good idea. Okay? So, use it to your advantage. Now, the next analogy is for the people that are camping. Okay? There is a lot of people who do not understand how the global market works. The global market works on a supply and demand. I've talked about this many times, but I'm going to use an analogy. So, Anybody here remember back when the Easter store was in play? They had done the Easter shop, and it was asking for a ton of sugar. Okay, so sugar basically became extinct on the global market. Now that is everybody's main reasoning for not wanting to level up past level 18, is because you unlock sugar. However, when you are below that level, you don't get as many boxes in your global HQ when you open it. So you don't have as many stores, as many depots to check, right? And so what ends up happening is you end up in a situation where the sugar went extinct. Does that mean that your global market was flooded with rares? No, that's not how it works. It does not work that way. And so what you've done is you've limited the number of stores or depots, as you would put it, available to you. So let me put it to you this way. You are at the store, and you're on the road, and you have 3 stores, okay? Every single store, on the counter, they have a whole pile of expensive cigarettes, and then they have 1 pack of cheap cigarettes. The 1 pack of cheap cigarettes symbolizes the rares on the global market. The stack of expensive cigarettes symbolizes the overflow of whatever item it is, sugar or whatever. Okay? So at level 24, you don't have such an overflow of expensive cigarettes or expensive items or hard to find items or hard to get items or whatever you want to call it, to overpower everything else. But you do have enough stores open to where it benefits you. So what you do is you go into the gas station, and you see a cheap pack of cigarettes sitting there. And before you can walk up to the counter, somebody runs in and snags it. That's what usually happens when you find an item on the global market, right? You get there and it's gone. So you're like, all right, whatever. So you bolt across the street to the next store, and you see a pack of cigarettes being advertised. He's holding it up in his hand, and somebody else snags it. Same concept. But now, this time, you see it, and you're able to snag it up, and you get the 1 pack of cigarettes. Okay? Now, think. You've checked every store. Now you need cigarettes again. So you're still looking for rares, right? So you're checking all the stores, and all you're seeing is expensive cigarettes. So again, you're opening up the global HQ, and all you're seeing is sugar, right? But you only have those 3 stores to check. So you're constantly going back and forth to these 3 stores going, well, it's not working. You know, this ain't working, right? So what you say is, you say, all right, what if I expanded my level, my radius area on the amount of stores I can go into, and increase your chances of getting the cheaper pack of cigarettes, right? So now you have, let's say, 20 stores to check versus 3. So your odds of seeing cheap cigarettes goes way up. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to expand so far that you have so many stores you can't check them all, and you have so many items that everything gets lost altogether, right? So the way supply and demand works is, it's not that the sugar is being posted at the same rate. Okay, the way it works is, or the way it doesn't work is, you don't have all these items being shown at the exact same percentage rate, okay? But what you do have is, imagine you go into the store, and he doesn't have the cheap pack of cigarettes, so he doesn't have any rares for sale. All he has is a bunch of sugar for sale. And you say, well, dude, why don't you ever sell any rares? Like, why the hell are you always selling sugar? And he's like, what the hell you mean, man? I don't only sell sugar, I sell rares all day long. They just get purchased. Supply and demand, right? The supply is heavy because the demand for that item is low, right? The demand for the other items is super duper high. So the supply is lower. Now, as you look at the global market at level 11. You only have so many items in the game unlocked. Therefore, you only have so many things visible to you, right? That being said, looking at what you have visible to you, correlating with the fact that you're not just going to see a wall of rares just because you have only those unlocked. Let's just say you could cross off every item in the game and only have storage unlocked. Do you honestly think that you're going to open up the global market and see a whole wall of storage? No. It's why when you open up the global market, you only see maybe 2 or 3 boxes available to you at those low levels. There's a reason for that, okay? They don't want you to be able to just find everything all at once, okay? It's got to be distributed to where everybody has a chance. If everybody had this, overflow of storage items in their global market, then it wouldn't be a challenge. It wouldn't make it a rare item. And since you can't produce it, it's something that has to be handed out in the game or purchased with cash. It's not like sugar where you can just produce it, right? So people think, well, okay, I need to limit the number of items so that I increase my chances of seeing these rares, but not unlock so many items to where you don't see anything, right? So there has to be a level that is right in the middle of all of this. Now, if you unlock everything at level 43 and you unlock burgers at level 31, burgers flood the market, and almost every item is unlocked between about level 30 and about 35 is right where everything all the really annoying shit gets unlocked. So you definitely want to remain below level 30, okay? But where and why? What becomes most beneficial to you? That would be level 24. Why level 24? Because believe it or not, and I know this may come as a shock to some people, but storage is not the only thing that matters. There are other key features in the game that do require you focus on them to be successful. One of those is the contest of mayors, which they just recently allowed you to unlock at 11. The next thing is coin and making money. Donuts accumulate or basically consist of about $30,400 of your daily income as a level 18 player. Okay, so there's that. Then you have the fact that you can join a group at level 18, right? Now, you also need to take into consideration that you need to be able to speed up production and do epic projects. By being able to do epic projects at a low level, at the lowest possible level you can do an epic project is level 24. By doing this, you can speed up your production in the contest, and you can allow yourself to pay for your epics for the cheapest possible amount, right? Now, everybody who has followed my guide follows this timeline, right? If you followed the timeline and you speed level to level 24, then you should, if you are a consistent player, and I'm not talking like super crazy, hybrid speed, but a consistent player, almost every single person playing the Missy's Building Guide has unlocked in 90 days. Okay? I'm not kidding. Max storage in 90 days. And I have a video where I go through and I show all that. And you can watch it. It went up about 2 weeks ago. And it shows everybody's city stats and their progress. Now, the same concept with this whole streaks thing. That's why we're talking about it. Okay? And that is that you guys cannot afford to level up past level 24 until you guys have completed everything. So do not allow this to make that risk possible. Okay, just eliminate the risk, eliminate the problem, and say, you know what, there's nothing I can do about this. It's gonna be here. Now, the first maybe couple weeks, you may notice that there are going to be people that are doing the streaks, and they may be leveling up or may not be, or whatever, but at some point people are going to be like, well, that was dumb, and they're going to stop, and they're going to realize that, okay, I have to avoid this, and it comes with more risk by doing it without knowing what the next task is going to be. Then it's worth it to even get the bonus points. So unless this is something that you would normally pick, do not touch it. If it is something that is a non-premium that you would normally otherwise not touch, don't touch it. Okay? Use it to your advantage. Open up another rotatable option. That's pretty much what, you know, it's going to come down to. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get this uploaded for you guys. The Contest to Mayor's Math video is going to be coming out very, very soon. And you guys will be able to, let's see here. You guys will be able to view that. It's going to be labeled all in one. Okay? So I didn't want to put it out yet until we got the streaks video done. And now that we have a better understanding of how this works, if you cancel one of the streaks, it started a 5-minute timer for me, and then it brought in the new one. Now I do believe that you get 3 of them. Okay, so I think it counts as one of your streaks. So see how it says streak 2, and I had canceled the first one? I believe you get 3. You could get more, but I think it's 3. Once you complete the tasks within the streaks, then you get your third one or your second one or whatever. If you cancel it, you wait 5 minutes until the next one begins. Now, this week, it appeared as though everybody started at the beginning of the contest and is open for a total of 24 hours. I don't believe that it comes back in 24 hours. I believe that it just it's like a one-time thing during the contest. Like, you get 3 of them during the contest. It can pop up at random at any time, and it's open for a total of 24 hours for you to complete. So it appears as though it's not going to be, you know, a consistent problem with your list. It's just whenever it decides to pop up. Okay, so that's good. You know, at least you have, basically you'll have a 24-hour time period where you'll have to work around it. Now, I don't know if that's true 100%, okay? I don't know if what they're saying is in 24 hours you will continue to get streaks. I don't think that's the case, though, because that would basically mean that you had streaks the whole time, right? And that you would be able to just do them indefinitely. And I don't think that that is what they mean. I think you get 3 of them per contest, or 4 of them, or whatever. And once that 24-hour timer is up, then you have to wait for the next, you know, contest for it to have happened. Because that's kind of what they said in the FAQ section, was that once you complete them all, then basically that's it. You don't get no more. That's what I would assume. And as you know, the week goes on, because it's still a really new feature, I will be watching you know, other people and kind of seeing how it goes. Any information that I can give to you guys that will help you, I will continue to update you guys as I can. And other than that, you know, good luck. But like I said, unless this is something you would normally do not do it. Try to work it to your advantage and don't take the risk, and do not level up. It's not that, it doesn't appear to be too much of a downfall if you would leave it alone. Okay, I could see how temptation to dink around with this stupid thing would cause some problems. You know, I could see that. But if you don't mess with it too much, I don't think it's going to cause you many problems. Alright, you guys, good luck, and like I said, watch for that all-in-one video. For those of you who have not yet subscribed, make sure you do that, as I do put out videos every day on SimCity, and I also have a series called Escape the Darkness. For those of you guys who are wondering what that is a series based on my life and things that I've been through. The playlist is on my channel, and you guys can view it on the main channel. Alright, you guys, good luck.